Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9 Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. Super Thinking by Gabriel Weinberg offers a practical guide to mental models, the reusable concepts that help people understand complex situations and make better decisions. Rather than focusing on motivation or a single productivity system, the book gathers ideas from many disciplines, including psychology, economics, statistics, and systems thinking, and shows how to apply them in everyday life. Its core promise is that you can improve judgment by building a toolkit of models and learning when each one fits. The approach is especially useful in a world of uncertainty, where quick intuition can be biased and oversimplified. The book is designed for readers who want actionable frameworks for reasoning, problem-solving, and decision-making at work and at home. It also emphasizes combining models, because real situations rarely match one neat theory. By organizing models into approachable themes and connecting them to common choices, it helps readers think more clearly under pressure and avoid predictable mistakes. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, building a mental model toolkit across disciplines. A central theme is that better thinking comes from collecting a broad set of mental models and practicing them until they become usable under real constraints. The book encourages readers to draw from multiple fields because each discipline explains a different slice of reality. Psychology helps with human behavior, incentives explain organizational dynamics, statistics clarifies uncertainty, and systems thinking reveals feedback loops and unintended consequences. Instead of treating these ideas as abstract theory, the emphasis is on recognition and application, noticing which model matches the shape of the problem. This toolkit mindset also promotes intellectual humility. No single model is complete, so the goal is not to find the perfect lens, but to choose a useful one, then check it against others. Readers are guided to think in terms of model selection, model limits, and model combinations. This creates a repeatable decision process. Define the problem, identify relevant variables, pick several candidate models, and use them to generate predictions and trade-offs. Over time, the models become a shared language for teams, improving communication and speeding alignment on what matters and what does not. Secondly, decision-making. Under uncertainty and probability, many everyday choices involve uncertain outcomes, yet people often act as if they have more certainty than they do. The book highlights the value of probabilistic thinking, expected value, and base rates to counter common errors like overconfidence and the neglect of prior information. Instead of asking whether something will happen, the reader is nudged to ask how likely it is compared to similar situations and what the payoff or downside looks like. This framing improves choices in investing, hiring, product decisions, and personal commitments. Another recurring idea is that prediction quality improves when you separate signal from noise and update beliefs as new evidence arrives. That means making room for being wrong, tracking what you believed before, and adjusting without ego. The discussion also points toward risk management practices such as margin of safety, redundancy, and scenario planning, which protect against bad tail outcomes even when probabilities are unclear. By treating uncertainty as a feature rather than a nuisance, the models help readers make calmer, more rational decisions, prioritize high-leverage actions, and avoid chasing outcomes that look attractive but have hidden low odds or unfavorable risk profiles. Thirdly, cognitive biases and the limits of intuition. The book explores how mental shortcuts can help speed judgment but also produce systematic mistakes. Biases like confirmation bias, availability bias, anchoring, and sunk cost fallacy shape what people notice, how they interpret evidence, and when they refuse to change course. A useful contribution is the practical orientation. Biases are not treated as trivia, but as predictable failure modes that can be designed around. Readers are encouraged to create guardrails, such as premortems, checklists, red team critiques, and decision journals, especially for high-impact choices. Another important idea is to separate the facts of a situation from the story you tell about it. People are natural storytellers, which can create false confidence and oversimplified narratives. By slowing down at key moments, seeking disconfirming evidence, and reframing questions, intuition can be complemented rather than blindly trusted. The book also stresses social and organizational dynamics where groupthink and authority bias can suppress dissent and distort decisions. When teams normalize respectful disagreement and make assumptions explicit, they reduce the risk of collective error. The result is a more resilient thinking process that accounts for human psychology instead of pretending it does not exist. Fourthly, incentives, trade-offs, and human systems. Another set of models focuses on why people and organizations behave the way they do. Incentives are presented as a powerful explanatory tool because they often predict actions better than stated intentions. When outcomes are measured poorly, people optimize the metric instead of the mission, leading to perverse results. Understanding principal-agent problems, moral hazard, and signaling helps readers diagnose issues in workplaces, markets, and institutions. The book also emphasizes trade-offs. Every choice allocates limited time, attention, money, and reputation. Models like opportunity cost and comparative advantage clarify what you give up when you say yes, and why specialization can increase total value. Game theory-style thinking adds realism by accounting for strategic responses, not just your preferred plan. These models encourage readers to ask what others want, what constraints they face, and how rules shape behavior. For leaders, this translates into designing incentives that reward the right outcomes, setting feedback mechanisms, and reducing unintended consequences. For individuals, it helps in negotiations, career planning, and collaborations by making motives, payoffs, and constraints visible. Seeing the incentive landscape reduces surprise and improves the ability to create agreements that actually hold. Lastly, systems thinking, feedback loops, and second-order effects. Complex problems often resist simple fixes because causes and effects loop back on each other. The book highlights systems thinking models that reveal feedback loops, bottlenecks, and delayed consequences. Instead of focusing only on immediate results, readers are encouraged to look for second-order effects, where an action solves one issue but creates another downstream. This approach is especially valuable in business strategy, health habits, public policy, and product design, where interventions can trigger adaptation and unintended behaviors. Concepts like leverage points, compounding, and constraints help identify where a small change can produce outsized impact or where effort is wasted because the true limiting factor is elsewhere. The models also support better debugging of problems, map the system, identify inputs and outputs, trace reinforcing and balancing loops, and test changes incrementally. Importantly, systems thinking pairs well with humility because complex systems can surprise even experts. By treating plans as hypotheses and using feedback to learn quickly, readers can build iterative improvement into their decisions. Over time, this creates a mindset focused on sustainability and resilience rather than quick wins, enabling smarter choices that hold up as conditions change and as the system reacts to your actions. In conclusion, this book suits readers who want practical frameworks for clearer judgment, including entrepreneurs, managers, analysts, students, and anyone who routinely makes high-stakes choices with imperfect information. It is also helpful for people who feel they are busy but not consistently effective, because mental models improve the quality of decisions before effort is spent. The benefits are personal and professional. You can spot hidden assumptions, evaluate risk more realistically, avoid common bias-driven traps, and communicate reasoning to others with a shared vocabulary. Over time, these habits reduce regret, improve prioritization, and make outcomes more repeatable rather than reliant on luck. Compared to similar books that focus on one discipline or one signature idea, this title stands out for its breadth and its emphasis on combining models. It provides a structured way to pull insights from psychology, economics, statistics, and systems thinking, then apply them to real situations. That makes it a strong value purchase for readers who want a compact reference they can revisit as different challenges arise, rather than a one-time read that fades after the last page. If you would like to support Gabriel Weinberg, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.